Hi, Ed Akehurst here. I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about a contractor that we've used in our real estate business. For many years, a group of us did real estate. We flipped, we rehabbed, we rented, we did mostly residential, a little bit of commercial. And through most of that, we used just a very few select group of contractors. And our favorite one that we used over the years was a gentleman by the name of Steve Nimetz, and he has a company called Greenspring Restoration LLC. And we used him for 8 projects. Actually, I should restate that we used him for 8 properties. One of them we did twice, and I'll explain. Um, I love Steve, so I just wanted to give him kind of a shout out, a heads up, testimonial, whatever, a review, because he's done so good for us. Our friend Mary found him because we were having some problems with some contractors on some property in Baltimore City that we were having. And they kept doing quotes that were just unreasonable. And then they came back and, of course, slammed us with big bills. And so we said to Steve on this first project anyway, we said, can you give us a quote that'll cover any, unforeseens, even if it's higher, as long as we know what we can budget, we can calculate whether we can get profit on the deal. And he probably shouldn't have done this, but he said, sure, at least for that one. And the bid was high. But we said, you know what? If he's going to honor this, I think, and we think he will, the references were good. His work was good that we checked out. Let's give it a shot. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. And so we did and loved it. He was fantastic. So we used him over the years for many different projects. We did a kitchen remodel in one of the houses. That's the one that we actually did twice because we did a kitchen remodel, and that was the house that Mary lived in. And it was used as a dormitory also for school. So the big kitchen that there was in there got remodeled and was beautiful. He did a great job on it. And then years later, the school closed down. The dormitory wasn't needed, and Mary moved on. So we needed to fix the house up so we could sell it. And we hired Steve, and he came in and redid the basement. I mean, concrete floor in the basement. Added a bathroom, top to bottom. Fix up so we can sell and get top price. Put a deck on the back, some other things. Just really did the house from top to bottom, and did great. Another property in that same area, we did a gut job on it. I mean, we gutted the entire place, took the floors out. It was a 3-story townhouse. Actually, it was 2 stories with a basement when we started, and then by the time he was done, it was 3 stories. But I mean, it was just a shell. Took the floors out, the staircases, everything, and redid it. And we rented that for years and years and years. It was beautiful, a beautiful project. And then he did another one in that area. That we did also for a rental, and that one didn't go so for us as good as far as the tenant went. But Steve's work was great. Greenspring Renovation did a great job. Steve Nimetz did a great job, and that wasn't a gut job, but it was pretty much bare bones and putting everything in. We did another house that we bought as an REO. It was repossessed by the bank. We bought it from the bank. And that was most of the work Steve did for us was in Baltimore City, a little bit in Baltimore County. This one was in Harford County. We were thankful that he was willing to drive. I know he doesn't normally do that, go that far out, but he did. And this needed a full remodel. The people that owned it were in the middle of remodeling it and stopped. So there was a nice floor put in the living room and the kitchen, if I remember correctly. And they had put carpet in 1 or 2 of the rooms and started painting, but that was about it. So Steve finished that remodel, redid all the bathrooms, redid the kitchen, redid some stonework outside. It had a garage he did some work in, and then we put a full finished basement in there that was just beautiful. And it was great. So that was a fantastic project. He did a commercial property for us that we just needed to get ready for a tenant that was in there. And that just needed a build out, and he did that. And, he's done several projects like this. So everything from, a kitchen remodel all the way up to a full gut job, where everything needs to be built. His work is fantastic. His prices are competitive, but a little high, honestly, but you get what you pay for. His work is super high quality. We love it. It's fantastic. Yeah, I was thinking about another rental he did on the other side of the city for us, where I mean the place was, it was not a great neighborhood. It wasn't a bad neighborhood, but it wasn't a great neighborhood. But he did a job, like a nice house out in a really nice development in the suburbs, and is what this thing looked like on the inside. It's just beautiful hardwood floors throughout, and beautiful kitchen, and but that's the kind of work Steve does, and he doesn't know how to do any different. He just does good quality work. He's got some great guys he works with. He's got a very select few subcontractors he uses that he's vetted very well and used for years. He's got his own crews that he knows really well, and just an all-around great guy. We wound up becoming friends and went golfing. A few times. So I can show you pictures of work that he's done. Describe jobs in more detail. I think I've droned on long enough. Take care, and again, feel free to reach out if you have questions about Steve Nimetz or Greenspring Renovation. I'll be happy to talk about it.